My name is Dagon123.
Guess who?
Chuck Locker here.
Hello, I'm Mittens.
JGZ here.
Hello everyone, and welcome to
Tenchicast!
Tenchiforum takes Otakon, the 3-day con in the Baltimore Inner Harbor.
Second largest in the country. First largest on the East Coast.
Yeah. A lot to take in, a lot on our minds, a lot we want to divulge. We'll probably forget half of it.
Yeah.
Be like, that was a cool story we could have told, but this is a first for many of us. This is the first time we've had a lot of us together. Of course, we had these three gentlemen right here, boldly representing at OhioCon. And of course, Mitz and Chuck were right here at Outlaw in Baltimore when we had the first big news about Funimation and War on Geminar, as we've now come to know it.
Yeah,
so,
1 year ago
yeah,
today.
And now this is a first. We have some visual with an impromptu Tenchicast that we're going to do here, and we were just going to talk about some of the stuff we did while we were here, I guess, because we're sadly and yet somewhat gladly we are reaching the end of our adventure at Otakon 2013. And by that I mean, I guess I can't speak for everyone, but this was my first one. I'm used to quite smaller conventions. I don't know about anyone else except probably Mitz here.
Yeah.
And I was just, it took me a day to just get used to the magnitude of the number of people here.
The human mass.
Yeah.
There were, how many did they say, 40,000?
40,000 easily.
At least, I
we
think.
jumped up.
Yeah. And then we did run into JG's colleague, I guess you could say, Bob.
Bob in 64.
Yeah, and he was telling us that they don't have official stats yet, but this was their 20th year anniversary, which we didn't even plan on that being the one we met up, but we did, and sounds like this could be record breaking for Otakon number of attendees, and it certainly felt like it in there. I know there's plenty of times here Tenchicast we were boldly trying to stay together, and we either ended up hopelessly separated by throngs of people or condensed like sardines and
Stuck in autograph signing lines.
oh man.
Yeah.
Well, let's since I didn't get any autographs, and on that note, let's see here, show of hands or what have you, who got some autographs here they want to talk about. Man, look at that. Is that like half, 3.5 JG, or did you?
Well, I got my autograph by Kristen Freeman, the voice actor of many famous roles in association with Funimation. I had him sign my Ghost in the Shell standalone complex set because he voiced the character Togusa, and his signature joins that of Richard Epcar on the cover of the set, and he voiced Bateau. So that was quite a good feather in my cap on that set, and I hope to someday in the future get the whole cast.
I was also in on the mass meat grinder that was the Crispin Freeman signing, and Crispin Freeman obviously is known for a plethora of different roles that many people will know. I got him to sign the set of Record of Lotus War, Chronicles of the Heroic Knight. He played Spark, who was one of the new main protagonists, on the front of the box. And I also was in the line for the director of Cowboy Bebop, Shinichiro Watanabe. And that was an amazing experience to be able to talk to, well, not really talk to, but be in the same presence as the guy who really made Cowboy Bebop come together. JG.
I got here at Otakon for 2013. They had a Sword Art Online poster that was custom made by the art directors of Sword Art, just for the con, using the con mascots. So I managed to get a hold of one of those and get it signed actually much later on by the art directors and sub-character art directors for Sword Art Online, and then also the director of the show came in at the last minute and also signed things for folks. So while everybody else is getting their Blu-rays, I actually got the poster they created signed by them. And got to shake some hands.
Yeah, I was also in that line. Well, I showed up early for that one. And I got my Blu-ray set signed, and it was really cool.
Watanabe.
Speaking of Watanabe and Cowboy
Great
Bebop,
transition.
the one of the biggest things, and something that you'll be hearing, I'm sure, on Anime News Network and from us, is that Funimation has now acquired the licenses to many out-of-print Bandai titles, including Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Escaflowne, Banner of the Stars, Crust of the Stars, and I'm sure there may or may not be more, as I wasn't a part of the panel, but, you know, it's awesome that all of those shows are in print, and there's a good chance now that we're going to get Cowboy Bebop on Blu-ray finally, and also get Outlaw Star Remastered, which all Outlaw Star fans have been clamoring for since 2006.
Man, finally. And, I mean, we all know how people feel about Outlaw Star and those, like, I remember the first day we were here, and you were like, I'm busting out the Outlaw Star t-shirt, and we were trying to get through, as crowded as it was, us trying to describe that to you here, and now that I recall, we did film a lot of that, and people are stopping you and killing me.
I see within the first 5 minutes of the con, some guys like, dude, Outlaw Star is awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of t-shirts, eagle-eyed viewers may notice that we are sporting official Tenchiforum t-shirts acquired by our forum admin, Dagon123, and I must say they look quite official, and we are all very proud to wear them.
Well, we had to represent, you know,
Yeah.
and as much fun as we had, there were times at con it felt like our job. I'm like, this is work, man. But as you can tell by one of us here, one is not like the other. I think I got some footage of it as well because Mitz and Chuck were in on that as well. I wonder who it could be.
Why don't you tell us about your get-up there, JG?
I am cosplaying as Commander Sonata from Duel. That was basically the eyepiece for everybody to try and find us during the first couple days of the con before we got Mittens with us, and Chuck was cosplaying as Kazuki Yotsuka, so we were kind of the dual troupe for a change. You know, put up some pics on like cosplay.com or something here, but dual fans represent.
Represent. Yeah, it's a shame that I'm sure more people watching this will go, I know who he is, but for con it seemed, Steins Gate or something like that. People were mistaking you for
Kayaba Akihiko, Watanabe, I don't know. There's half a dozen people. I'm the doctor too, apparently. I'll write you a prescription for Duel.
Speaking of stopping and asking people questions, we as Tenchiforum have been in communication with the Funimation staff at Otakon, and it was quite a successful exchange of information. We've exchanged contact information, and they seem more than willing to at least acknowledge our existence, and we hope to continue and grow a partnership between Funimation and express gratitude from all of you, the fans, to them for saving Tenchi from almost certain oblivion eventually by relicensing and re-releasing. And they were very helpful in relaying some information back to us, and they would like to thank all of you, the fans, for making their releases so successful in the market, and especially the Tenchi movie collection. That is actually their #1 Tenchi seller, so good on you. Followed closely by Tenchi Universe, and thirdly by War on Geminar. So,
and this came right from the mouth of Funimation's
convention manager.
Mm-hmm. So this isn't something that just kind of floated around. This came right from the
so you should
right
all
from
feel
the source.
You should all feel very proud. So and we're very proud to represent you, the fans.
Yeah.
Good job.
Man.
Yeah, we also found that besides ourselves cosplaying a related Tenchi series, we also saw a Tenchi and Lighthawk Wing Guard. We had a Miyokio, some Mahoney, and Hoshi and Kiyone, and also apparently there was a Ryoko floating around.
And a Washu.
And a Washu.
Nurse Washu.
Nurse Washu. Oh,
We couldn't grab her. We couldn't grab her.
yeah.
I couldn't grab her.
Mitch did all that was humanly possible.
I
But,
tried.
Washu was just not gonna have it. They had to go.
They had to go
get
to
into
their
a concert.
TMR or whatever it is.
Had to go destroy the universe, really.
Oh, yeah, probably. That's probably the real
probably
deal.
what it was.
That's more like it.
Or she had an appointment with Tenchi. Come to think of it, after you talked about Washu showing up at the con, I never saw that. Tenchi cosplayer again. And hopefully
We ran into him. We ran into him a couple times.
Oh, well,
So-
then he's at least safe. Then.
So far.
Not locked up in her lab doing.
Unless he was at the concert.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Well, you've heard what we've done as a group, but perhaps maybe some of you are interested in seeing what we did when we weren't together. So, does anyone want to talk about like their favorite thing they experienced just as an independent person?
I guess just real quick here, because it's probably pretty short for me. It was just me, and unbeknownst to me at the time, Mitz was there. I should have known better, really, because Mitz knows her way around Otakon. Like, I just can't believe this is my first time, but I'm like a fish in a desert. I'm just like, well, where do I? And
If you were a fish in the desert, you'd be dead. But I'll just.
Dead fish.
Oh man, hyperbole, ain't it great?
Well,
I was there when Funny announced their big acquisitions they had, and I tell you, it was, man, it was like a rock concert, but even louder. I mean, people were, and it's like one of the heads of the actual Japanese guest, one of the heads of I think it was or maybe he was a director of something with I always mix it up. Is it Sun Films?
Sunrise.
Sunrise. I don't know why I do that. It's a weird tick of mine. But he said, like, the truly great ones find a way to endure, and they never go out of style.
Well, as for me, this is my second time at Otakon, and I can sort of relate with who. I was there last year when they announced Tenchi, and it was like a rock concert. When they announced Tenchi, and then right on the heels of that, War on Geminar, like everyone was on their feet almost. It was something else. So I know exactly where you're coming from, and it's very heartening to see that Funimation is really getting serious and is committed to rescuing older titles and getting them out there. Because I know my favorite experience this year was the dealer's room, and I was saved from taking the plunge and buying a almost $100 Cowboy Bebop set. So when I got the news, I was able to put it back and wait just a few more months to get the Bebop set. But my favorite is always the dealer's room, just the rush of the people and the excitement of finding something that is really awesome that no one else noticed, and you were really the first one to pick it up and save it from obscurity. So I got lots of cool swag, and that was probably my favorite time of the con.
Well, aside from the announcement, which being a very, very huge Outlaw Star fan is great, because we've been clamoring for the remastered set since 2006. So this was a great thing, and it's also back in. It's going to be back in print, so everybody can pick that up, and that's always an awesome thing. Just like with Tenchi and any older series, the dealer's room was very good. Picked up a lot of things, but as with the things I picked up, the one thing that really stuck out to me and was it was like the cherry on top, was the screening of Ava 3.0, and I didn't really recollect a whole lot after that night. It was just kind of,
it was a blur.
Everything was trying to set in, and being a huge Ava fan and seeing that, I was a little bit apprehensive with the first two movies at first, but I think the third movie really, really sells it for me, and it really, really feels like Ava. So that's what topped it for me. It was Ava.
I'd have to say, overall, I think I'll just kind of splice it up into two things. The most surprising thing to me was the sheer volume of anime fans at Otakon, and I mean, not just cosplay, but people in plain clothes or whatever. I mean, we'll have pictures up, but the roads around the convention center for several blocks have lines that are solid. Every eatery in the Bay Area is packed full with lines out the door. There are people upon people upon people. I'm pretty sure you could swim on top of people here if you tried and never touched the floor. So I've been to Anime Expo back out in 2006, ASIN before that, and OhioCon in 2006 before that, and OhioCon 2013 here recently. And none of them compare to the number of people that have just been piled in here. And on one hand, that's, you know, it's troublesome for traffic control, but it's amazing that to see such a unified body of fans in one place, and you know, them all chilling out, doing whatever, you know, easy to talk to in lines, things like that. It's a pretty amazing experience, and you know, if you haven't been out to a con, you know, it's a good time to, you know, try and get out there and meet some people. But as to my most fun thing of the con, I'd say it's been, you know, going around with these guys and experiencing the con, and you know, Mittens and Who and Chuck and Dagon, and just going through and, you know, talking in lines, and like we got kicked out of, you know, 2 or 3 different con rooms. And that's not saying we were removed. That's saying we didn't make it to the room. Like 5 foot in front of us was the door. But you know, we got moved out of there, and that opened up the opportunity in some ways to go experience other stuff that was running and showing. And it ended up being pretty good. So overall, it's been a good trip.
Well, this is my 4th Otakon, and you know, it was crowded when I started out, and it just kind of got crowded. But I had a lot of fun, and I went to some really good panels, and like this weekend has really been a lot, just like Sword Art Online. That's basically the whole weekend, because yeah, and like I got to I saw like the first 2 episodes in English. That was for the first time, and I went to Aniplex panel, and it's just been a lot of fun. Yeah.
And that was a good point that made me think. You guys mentioned how crowded it is and how many people there, and yet you think if, and that was a good point you made about unified anime fans, because I think if that was a sporting event or something, you know, like some of those, you know, I mean, like, it just, everybody was just, you know, everybody's just well behaved and
pretty much
polite to each other. Pretty much, you're right. You can't ever say 100%.
There's random screaming about something going on that we never figured out what it was. But I mean, maybe somebody found a contact lens.
And just it's really great. It really drives home the point of going to cons with other people is really the true fun, because probably between us all, we probably spent more than 24 hours in line if you add up all of our experience.
Easily.
Yes. And I can honestly say not a moment of it was wasted, because we were with friends, and time just flies when you're in the line and you have someone to talk to, and you can chat the latest Tenchi or the latest the rumors from Funimation's acquisitions, and before you know it, you're watching Ava, or you're getting something signed by Crispin Freeman, and
eventually.
But so it's been a really great experience for all of us, and so we look forward to tomorrow, the last day of the con, and saying some heartfelt goodbyes and see you again. So
it was a great experience meeting everybody and having the camaraderie of seeing all of these people that 2 or 3 years ago we were, you know, just talking from different parts of the United States, and here we are taking over Baltimore's Otakon.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's wild. Because the first time I saw you guys in person, you know, obviously, you know, that took so much getting used to for me. But now that we're talking about being done for this trip and going our separate ways yet again, it feels weird to go apart from you guys. It's like, because you know, we've been friends just because we haven't been interacting, you know.
Oh, who are we gonna
Oh man, but it's just everybody, you know, just you know how that is with some people. You just click, and then when you're not around them, you feel weird. And that's a great point you brought up about, you know, even though we had to stand in lines, me and JG, we got kicked out. I mean, not kicked out, but it filled up.
We were removed.
Oh my gosh,
no,
yeah, like
wait,
3 times at least, yeah. But you know, we were just
extracted,
we were just talking, you know, and
diverted.
Yeah.
Or what do you do with cattle?
Prodded.
Herded.
We were herded. Yes, that's exactly what it felt like most of the time. Gosh, man. So
well, it's been great, and we thank you all for following us as we take Otakon, and we hope that we've been able to entertain and inform you.
At least entertain you. Yeah,
So.
a little bit.
Until next time.
What do we do?
Tenchicast!
Okay. My name is Dagon123, and welcome to Tenchicast. Oh, I did it wrong. I messed up my own rule. God.
Marker!
Okay, let's try that again. The director is failing.
Oh, well.
Epic.
Until next time, Dagon.
Until next time, stay gold. Granted, the version that's on YouTube is a lot better than the original.
Yeah.
However, yeah. The editing. Photo editing. See, you won't even know he's here.
Disembodied.
Oh, real great.
Until next time, have a muffin.
Please tell me that's recording.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is.
That could be the end.
That could be.